What is up YouTube? BunnyFilms here with a brand new video, and today we are going to be going over the 10 things I like and dislike about the latest update to Farming and Friends. And in case you missed it, they released two major revamps to the game. The first revamp is the equipment revamp, and the second revamp is the data revamp. And I'm going to be going over several things they changed or added to the game and the things I like about them and dislike. If you want to see more videos like this, be sure to let me know by pressing the like button or leaving a comment, but I'm going to go ahead and start off with number 10, which is something I really do like. So something included in the vehicle revamp was adding new sounds to every vehicle in the game. You'll notice these if you hop into any vehicle. You'll hear this ignition sound of the engine starting and then the engine running. And each vehicle has a sound that is characteristic to what the vehicle is. For example, you have this old quote-unquote Marley vehicle. Reminds me of a Volkswagen, but you have this vehicle, it has an old sounding engine. That's nice. And coming in at number 9 is something I dislike about this update, and it's that people can push your equipment around your farm now. So basically, if you want to have a nice and organized farm, you might have to start blacklisting people, because people are able to just walk up to your equipment and push it by walking into it, or if they have their vehicle, they can use their vehicle to ram into your equipment and move it around. At number 8 is vehicle handling. So that was a major part of the vehicle revamp. I don't exactly know the details of what changed, but I think they added like vehicle suspension, and it basically changes how you drive your vehicles. They drive the same, but they drive more realistically, I suppose. There's a bit more physics involved. I don't exactly know how to describe it, but you will notice the difference between how vehicles used to drive before this revamp and how they drive now. Number 7 is something I dislike. It sort of relates to how people can push your equipment, but equipment rolls. Because, equipment has wheels, wheels move, and apparently there's no brakes on any of the equipment, which I would like. So basically, when you detach a trailer and your vehicle's still moving, the trailer's going to start rolling because there's a momentum, which is realistic. I don't mind that. But because people can just walk up to your equipment now and push it, the wheels will start spinning. So for some reason, there's no sort of brakes on the equipment, which would be nice to stop people from pushing it and the wheels rolling. Number 6 isn't really something you will notice, however it is in the background, and that is just the data revamp as a whole. So basically that allows the developers to begin adding content to the game much easier, so that means in the future we might be able to expect bigger updates or just more consistent updates. Halfway through the list, we are at number 5, and this is a feature that I've been waiting for years, and that is passenger seats. So I don't exactly know which vehicles this works for, and it doesn't, but you are able to drive around with other players sitting in your passenger seats. I know particularly for the Marley van, there's 3 seats, but I don't necessarily know if it can hold 3 people, but here I'm able to actually seat someone who I have whitelisted in my vehicle. Number 4 is another thing I dislike about this update, and it's the fact you can get run over a lot easier. It might not seem that bothersome, but when I'm walking around on my farm and someone drives up to me in a tractor and runs me over with the tractor, I fall over and I get stuck on the ground. It's funny, but I don't know how many times I can take getting run over. So number 3 is something I also like, and it's how your farm will save once you leave the game. Because usually when you leave the game, your equipment will detach from trailers, doors will close, but now when you join the game, you will actually have your farm stay the same as it was when you left. So if you have a trailer attached to your semi-truck, it will remain attached. If your garage door is open, that door will remain open. And I've even heard that when you leave the game and you're sitting in a vehicle and you rejoin the game, you will actually be sitting in that same vehicle. So we're nearly at the end of the list. Here at number 2 is something I dislike, which is just the bugs that were added by these realistic physics. So for example, you have this milk truck flopping around on my farm. I don't know why, but just in general, there's all sorts of bugs that are sort of related to these physics features being added to the game, such as when you're driving your vehicle, some vehicles, for example, appear like they're flopping around back and forth. I don't know why, but maybe these bugs will get patched eventually, or maybe they're just beyond the controls of the developers, and maybe it's just part of having these realistic physics. It just gets a little annoying at some points when you're just driving your tractor and someone bumps into it and all of a sudden your tractor's getting flung around. And finally, we are at number 1, and I didn't order these in any particular order, so this isn't my most favorite thing added in the update, but I do like it. It's the realistic vehicle collisions. So if you aren't farming on your farm, you're waiting for some potatoes to grow or some cabbage to grow or some cows to be ready to be milked, I don't know, but when you're waiting, maybe you get bored and you have some friends in the server and you're like, hey, why don't we run into each other with our cars and have some car wars? So I don't know if you ever tried it before on Farming and Friends. I have with a bunch of fans, and it wasn't necessarily as fun as it is now because of these realistic physics. You can actually have like sort of realistic collisions. I don't know, it's hard to explain, but I'm probably going to experiment with this with some fans, make a video about it of having all these realistic collisions. I don't know, but it's fun, and that's something I do like when there's fun being added in an update. But that does bring us to the end of this list. If there's anything I missed, are there things that you like or things that you don't like in this update, feel free to put it in the comment section. I read all my comments and it will be interesting to see what you guys think about this update. But that's all I have to say. Thank you for watching. I hope you do have a good day and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.